The ROCCAT Suora RGB, minimal size, maximum enjoyment. I'm RioGion and welcome to RioGion Keyboards. The minimalistic design is definitely eye-catching and they use standard font, which is awesome! I really dig the standard layout because it makes it easier to find replacement keycaps if you're into the modding scene. You get volume control and a gaming mode button on the right corner, which is nice, but I wanted LED indicators to be there instead. Without LED indicators, the keys themselves have to be indicators, so there will be setups where you have additional white keys. On the plus side, if you want the keyboard to be uniform, then you can just turn them off. The floating key design is nice for when you have to clean the keyboard, but I wanted the ROCCAT logo on the top of the arrow keys to go away. You get some, you lose some, but the price of the keyboard is not that bad, at least what I got for it. If you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, then hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for the latest content. The keyboard uses the TTC switch, which is another clone of the Cherry MX switch. It feels lighter than the Cherry MX Brown, as if the switch has already been broken in. I did a little research and found out that the MX switches have a break-in period. Once that occurs, the switch is lighter than it was before. I have a link to the forum below, that like button for you to find out. Moving back to the switch, if you like a lighter feeling switch, then the TTT switch should be right up your alley. However, if you prefer your switch to have more resistance or tactility, then it's best to look somewhere else. The keyboard has Co-Star stabilizer, which is both good and bad. The good is that I do believe the Co-Star stabilizer feels crispier, more precise, while the bad is that the stabilizer can be very annoying if you plan on taking out the longer keycaps for cleaning or replacing. If you don't plan on taking the keycaps out for a fully clean keyboard or replacing the keycaps, then you don't need to worry about the Co-Star stabilizer annoyance. Comment down below and let me know, which of the two stabilizer do you prefer, Cherry or Co-Star? The keycap is thin ABS, which is typical amongst the gaming keyboard sector. You even find this type of keycap in a much more expensive K95 Platinum. It would be nice if they used PBT or double shot ABS, but this is fine if you never felt the higher end keycaps. There is paint smear, but you wouldn't see this unless you take the keycaps out often, so it kinda depends on how you think of it. The flip-up feet does have rubber on them, which is nice for keeping the keyboard planted at two different angles. This is really handy for those heavy typing and gaming sessions where, for those of you that needs that extra height. Cable management slots are always handy to show minimal cable to go with your setups. It might not matter to all, but to some, it's really useful if you plan on showing off your sleek, clean desk setup to the community. The cable is braided, which is nice, although some of you don't really care much for the cable being braided. And the same can be said for the USB tip. I guess it's a matter of preferences. For me, the software is very finicky with lots of errors. I constantly get ROCCAT is no longer working errors. It's pretty frustrating to have to deal with the software issue, but it could just be me, or at least I hope that it's just me, because ROCCAT is a somewhat big company in the PC gaming gear market, so I really hope that I am the only one that's having this issue. I noticed that I have been getting updates for the software and the keyboard, so this is the step in the right direction. I really think they should add layers of effects for the software because other big name companies have layering effects for their software. So it would be awesome if ROCCAT can do this for their software as well. I noticed that you can import profiles, but I couldn't find people putting up custom lighting profiles. So here's hoping that they have more people getting involved making their own custom lighting profiles to keep the ROCCAT community growing strong. The software is quite user friendly because it's simple to navigate to find what I'm looking for without looking up tutorials on the software. I'm sure that after more updates, the software issue should be fixed, and I'm hoping that they will add layering effects to give the keyboard a much longer life. The TTC switch feels pleasant to type on, but it does feel a little bit on the cheap side with the tinning noise it makes whenever I type quickly on it. In terms of weight, it feels about the same as the MX Brown counterpart, and it feels smooth to transition from keystroke to keystroke. I don't seem to find excuses to type on this keyboard like I do with other keyboards, but I'm sure this is a great starting keyboard for those that want to take the first step in the gaming keyboard market.
For MMO players, this keyboard is in the middle ground because you get to macro every single key, but you don't have a bank of macro keys. The same can be said for those that plan on buying this keyboard to edit videos as well. For FPS players, this keyboard is average because you can double tap quickly, but you won't be as quick as using red switches, and the keys are comfortable to hold for long gaming sessions. For RTS players, this keyboard is also average because the brown switch and having the ability to macro every single key to different functions might be useful for you as well. Pricing is always subject to change, but you can typically find this keyboard between the high 80s and the low 130s. I know that's a pretty big delta, but I have seen this keyboard somewhere within the 100 range for a while. I'll provide a link to the keyboard below the like button for you to check it out, and I recommend constantly clicking on the link on a regular basis to find the best deal possible. Leave a comment down below and tell me, would you buy this keyboard? I love to see what you guys put down there. Anyways, if you're new to the channel and haven't subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to become part of the mighty notification squad. As always, have an awesome day.